Hey team, Jag here. Super excited to be with you guys. Hope you guys can hear me fine and see me fine. Welcome to Agency Secrets, another episode. And today we're going to have a conversation about how you can actually make people come into your funnels and book a time with you in your calendar. Today we're going to look at the funnel structure. We're going to look at it, how that looks like, where people come in and then book a time with you, right? So here is what happens. The biggest problem when we speak to anybody, or whether you are a marketer, whether you are normal any other business owner, one of the biggest problem is not having enough clients, not having enough leads coming through, not having enough people to have a conversation with. When you have this problem that you just don't have enough people to have a conversation with every week, where you can actually give them proposals, where you can actually send them proposals and let them know about how you can actually help them, meaning that you have a marketing problem. So we're going to look at it today, how you can change that in your business so that you have so many people to have a conversation with. So if one or two people don't show up, if one or two people say no to you, you don't have to become a pest, and you can move on to the other people when you have a lot of people. So here is what we're going to look at it, right? So our intention is, this is the end goal, right? This is the end goal. Like any other funnel, we're going to have, you know, uh, so many people here and the top end of the funnel. You know, there's just so many people here. Uh, all of them people at the front end of the funnel. Some of them going to get to the second level. You know, some of them going to get to the next level in our business, and some of them will end up buying from us, right? That's what we want to do, meaning that we're going to have more and more people coming through at the front end, and there are few people going to be here. There are few people going to be getting to the next level, right? That's what we want to do. But for this to happen, you have to design a funnel, or design a really good step system which people can follow. Like most of the businesses, they're pretty random, right? You don't know where the people are going to come from. You have people sort of might pick up a phone and call you. So we want to direct people. Look, one of the things you must know, everybody's busy. They don't have a time for you, and they don't care about you. You don't matter in their lives, right? They are busy people. They are running their lives, and they, so many things are happening in their life. So whenever your ad comes on Facebook, or whenever the ad comes on Google or anywhere, right? Whenever we see that, you're basically interrupting people from whatever they're doing, and they're busy. Because they're busy, they're just not going to be having enough time to do stuff. So because of that, you need to make sure that you have a step-by-step process in place where you direct people in a certain direction. If you don't do that, you're going to lose them in a certain way. So what we're going to look at it today, we can look at the five-step system where people come and book a time in your diary. People book a time in your calendar, and we're going to look at it, how we can actually make it happen, right? There is a different process is available. So what I'm going to recommend today is kind of works for pretty much most of the people. So if you're one of those people, you sort of thinking, hey, which system should I have in place? This is the one. You probably need that for your business, because this will automate most of the work for you. The only thing you're going to be doing is bringing more and more people at the front end. So meaning that when you bring more and more people here, and then more and more people are going to get to the next level, and then more and more people are going to get to the next level, right? So that's what we want to do, step by step process, that so that people can just keep falling. So whenever people are in the funnel, right, gravity work in your favor, right? Whenever people are in the funnel, gravity works in your favor, meaning that there's no other place to go. They're just going to fall below that, right? So that's what we want to do. The only thing you have to do is have a process in place, step by step, so people can take it and get to the next level, right? So that's what we want to do. So let's look at it very quickly. How does that funnel look like? How does the step-by-step system look like if you have to direct people into certain way, right? So let's look at it. The first one is you must have some sort of opt-in. You must have some sort of opt-in page. You must have some sort of place where you can actually give value to certain kind. You must have an opt-in page where people can download certain things, or where people can log into certain stuff, meaning that you give them a book or a program or certain access to certain things. So that you must have an opt-in page. The next step is, after the opt-in page, you must have a thank you page. So the thank you page is the intention behind to say thank you to them, saying, hey, congratulations for downloading this file or getting to my program. And here is one thing you want to do is provide a value video. This is a value video telling them to do certain things, right? Value video could be your webinar, value video could be your system, value video could be explaining them what are the things you can help them with. On the same page, you book time. On the same page, you have a link which comes up after 2 or 3 minutes or 10 minutes, depending how long the webinar is, how long the video is, and then you get them to book a time in your diary, in your calendar, right? That's what we want to do. But here's what's going to happen. Most of the time, as I said, people are busy. They're probably not going to get a chance to do that straight away. Sometimes they see the ad, they like the product, they say, okay, I need to get this book. So they're just going to opt in really quickly. They're not going to get a chance to watch this straight away. So what you're going to have is, at least you're going to have 5 emails. You're going to have 5 emails pointing to same page, right? So you're going to have this, which sends people to the same page. You're going to have these many emails, automated auto responders, auto emails, which goes through that. So you can do that with any tool, any email system you have in place, whether it's a ConvertKit, MailChimp, ClickFunnels, doesn't actually matter much, but as long as you have that in place. So direct them to the same place. So now the page number 3 is going to be all about application. So they need to apply to work with you. Here is one thing which I've noticed. If you put calendar straight away, you're going to get many bookings coming through, but all of those bookings who's going to be coming through, they're not going to be legit. They're either not going to show up. They're either not going to, come up at all. So you create an application form where you ask them certain questions. So these are the questions. There are a couple of things you need to be mindful of that. When you're asking these people the questions, one is, you cannot ask them. Some of the questions are very personal questions, right? Because when you not know these people, they don't want to tell you everything, right? So you need to be mindful that the questions you ask them here, you can't ask them, hey, how much money do you make? What's all these personal questions, right? It's really, really, really important not to ask them. So the reason we ask them question, a couple of things, right? So from my perspective, the reason I ask them is so that they just have to fill the form, right? One big reason is because people who spend 2, 3, 5 minutes to fill the form, they are more likely to show up on the call because they have taken time to do the work. Right? We just want them to do the work. It's not that questions are important, but they're not really, really important. So we just got to be mindful of that. We don't ask them too much personal questions or too many personal questions, but certainly ask them certain things where they have to spend time filling that in, which qualifies them to get to the next level. And the reason it happens is because if you don't do this, I promise you, they're not going to show up, right? They just not going to show up. So the next one is a timing booking in your calendar. So this is your calendar link where people can book it. So a couple of things which I really want you to have this in mind. Whenever you are on this application page, some people have the funnels where they just design the application question. So you have 10 questions on one page where people are going to just fill it in. What I've noticed is after doing the same thing, people don't fill in there with so many questions, right? People are busy. They don't have a time for you. So if you just give them that, hey, fill these questions, they're going to see all the 5, 10, 15 questions. they're like, too long, right? I just don't have time. So what works the best is if you give them question at a time, right? Meaning that they only have to answer one question at a time. If they only see one question, they will more likely to answer those questions rather than 10 questions given them in one go. So my suggestion would be, use some sort of external application tools, like Typeform, sorry, or some of the other utilities. Yes, it's going to be a subscription based that you have to pay for it, but it's worth the price, just for one big reason, because people only get to see questions step by step. And remember that people are lazy, they don't have a time, they're busy. If you give them so many things to do in one go, they're more likely they're not going to do it. So it's really important for you to make sure that you give them one question at a time, which they answer it, and then they move on. So here's what I've noticed. More and more people, if you give them too many things to do at once, one step, they just get confused, they just get busy, something else will show up. Answering your questions, is the worst thing they want to do, right? So meaning that they probably be watching TV, they're probably watching Netflix or doing something else rather than filling in your application form, right? So if you give them give them one question at a time, they, even though they're doing something else, they're like happy to answer that one question at a time and then move on to the next one. So that's why it's really important to give them one question at a time, not 50 questions, right? So or all of the questions which you have. So use some external utilities like Typeform or something like that, which will help you get into that, right? So number 3 is a calendar booking, right? So calendar booking is really important. Couple of things to sort of talk about this. One is, in the calendar booking, some people have a Zoom link. I mean, I don't mind Zoom link. It's okay to have a Zoom links, and it's a good idea to have Zoom links sometime. But what happens is, when you don't have a rapport with people, when you don't know, there is an effort from their side to jump on a Zoom session, meaning that they have to click some buttons, and they have to be on a computer, they have to be somewhere to press the button to get there. And it's really, 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 uh, something might happen that they just have some other thing comes up and they don't want to press that button to jump on a Zoom call. So you're going to get many cancellations because they have to make an effort to be on the call, unless they're really looking forward to speaking to you. But it's just a bit of effort, right? So what I did is, I actually, instead of asking them to jump on a Zoom session, uh, I've actually asked them to give me the number, right? So you make sure that the meeting is a phone meeting, which they actually put their phone number, which you're gonna call. Right, not a Zoom session, not a Skype session, not any other session. It's a phone meeting where you put a number in, and then they put a number in where you're going to pick up a phone and call, right? Part of the Calendarly, if you use Calendarly or any sort of other Calendarly tools, there are a couple of things you want to do it. One is, you make sure that there is a phone number, right? People put their phone number where you're going to call instead of Zoom. Second thing, you want to make sure that there are two things happen. One is SMS reminder, meaning that they get an SMS reminder. Not the default within Calendarly SMS reminder is 24 hours or before the meeting. You don't want to do that 24 hours because people are going to forget. My suggestion would be, do it 1 hour before the meeting, so that they are ready that 1 hour it's going to happen, the call is going to come, right? The other one is email. You want to have a couple of email sequences going to them for the meeting, meaning that, hey, meeting is starting at this time, hey, I'm looking forward to speaking to you. Couple of email sequences which goes to them after they book the meeting, right? So one is an auto one, which comes from Calendarly. Couple of them comes from your email automation system, which you can actually send it to them, right? And the last page, once they book the meeting, the default page should be a big thank you page, right? Thank you page. This is a big thank you page about certain things, right? Meaning that, what I usually do is, on my page, it's my video, and also there is a certain instructions, right? So meaning that, hey, join my community, and then what I also do is I make sure that they watch certain videos here if they want to watch it. So there is a lot of training videos available for them to actually indulge, or for them to actually see that this person they're going to be speaking to is a credible person, right? So on this video, my intention is to tell them exactly, hey, if you show up, or sorry, if you don't show up, I certainly can't help you, right? We have a system in place which help that many people, and we have a system to tell you and help you with this, whatever that is, whether you give them cold outreach method, whether you're giving them content, daily content machine, whether you're giving them Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever you're giving to them, you need to talk about that and say, hey, we have helped that many people. The only way I can help you on this, if you are available, jump on the call. Otherwise, I won't be able to, So the make sure one thing is you set a reminder and you advise them. So here is what I learned, right? So most people in their lives, if they don't know the next step, they're more likely to cancel it, right? And this is a rule for everything, whether they are your clients. For example, if your clients are not renewing your 3 monthly after that, meaning that you're not getting recurring clients coming through, the reason for that is they just don't know that what's going to happen after that, right? So meaning that they're forgetting, or they don't know, or they don't have any awareness how you're going to be able to help them after the 3 months are finished, right? So each and every time, and this is the golden rule for running any agency, that you must be telling your clients, you must be telling your prospect what is the next step, right? What is going to happen after this? So if they book a call, what's going to happen after that? What to expect after that? Because if they don't know, something else will come up, right? Meaning that there is an unknown, which is unknown of your unknown, which you haven't told them. And there is a known, meaning that, hey, you want to go out for a coffee, or you want to wait for the unknown, whatever that unknown is. They're more likely to pick up a coffee with a random stranger, because they already know that it's a coffee, right? Yours is unknown world. They don't know anything about you, and what are you going to be talking about? What are you going to be saying? So because it's an unknown world, they're more likely to say, thank you very much. I'm not going to be coming to. Right. So this is very, very, very important, that you have on this last page. You talk about this. So these are the standard 5-step process. One thing to keep in mind, that there is a big of email sequences at every step, right? So meaning that if people take step number one, let's give them the numbers, and it's really important. Step number one, step number two, step number three, step number four, and step number five. Your job is now to make sure that everybody takes steps, because these are the steps to design. So whenever there is a people who drop out of these steps, your job is to bring them back to that step, right? So for example, many people are going to opt in, but they're not going to book a call, right? So your job, using this using these emails, to bring them back to these steps, right? This is what we're going to do. So if they do this bit, and they don't fill in the application, meaning that they watch the video, meaning that they watch certain time of video, but they haven't booked a call, they haven't filled in the application, you need to send people here, right? If they haven't filled in the application, or they filled in the application, they haven't booked a time in your diary, somebody need to pick up a phone and call them, or SMS them that, hey, you haven't booked time, right? What's the reason? What's going on? So this SMS has to be in place for them to take a next step, right? Once they book a call, they need to be told, once they're here, meaning that once they book the call, they're here, they need to be told the next step. Why they need to be told the next step. Next step is, hey, when you jump on the call, this is what we're going to do. So they need to know the next step. This is what you do through the email automation system. This is what you do by putting the videos like this. This is how you do, and show them exactly step by step. Hey, if you jump on a call, this is what's going to happen. If you don't do it, they won't show up, because there is an unknown and there is a known, right? Your unknown is more likely to be ignored compared to any known world out there, right? So we want to make sure that there is not so many unknowns, right? So we want to make sure that there is a known stuff, whatever they need to know, they know. And the last one is you build the credibility, meaning that you show them the video, make them join some sort of group, or if you have a tribe, make them give them something, so that they know what's going to happen, right? So these are the videos. If you have certain things, so that they can show up, right? So our goal of this is, oh gee, so our goal for this is for them to show up on the phone. So the reason we show up, or we make them show up on the phone, is so that we can sell our services, right? That's what you want to do, right? Sell them your services. And more people are jumping on the call. More and more people going to be likely to take your step, right? So remember what we said. Our job is to fill the funnel. Our job is to fill the front end of the funnel so that gravity start to work in our favor, and people just drop below to the next level. So this is how you need to design these steps so that people can just keep taking the steps and getting to the next level. Because if you don't do it, they're just going to disappear in the middle somewhere, right? So here is what I've learned, right? So one thing, it's really important for you to see the numbers. So 20% of the people will fill up application. 20% of the people do that. So if you have 100 people, 20% people do that. Out of that, usually the way it happens is, I would say it's about, 20%. Let's remove this here, not this. 20% people will fill in the application, meaning that if I have application, which is 20%. So if 100 people opt in, 20% or 20 people out of them will fill in the application. And then if you have 20 people coming up, then usually what happens is 5% of the people will see this. No, sorry, not this. So let's look at the numbers. So you have 100 opt-ins, 20 people will jump on the call. Out of that, 5 buy. These are just the standard numbers, right? 100%, 100 people opt in, 20% book a call, 5% people, meaning that 25% closing rate. This is the worst case scenario I'm talking about. Some people out of that, open close rate is about 40%. Some people close 25%. So if you have really good or not really good, I expect you close 20-25% of people. You ended up having about 5 people buy from you. So if you're selling your services, say $5,000 or $2,000, $3,000, then it's well worth it, right? So all this happens. What we talked about, the entire method works really well when you are doing a paid advertising, right? When you're doing some sort of paid advertising. This system will not work if you don't have a traffic, right? Number one thing for this system to work, you must have a traffic, right? That traffic has to come this way. If you don't have a traffic, if you don't have a budget for Facebook ads, if you don't have a budget for Google ads, then this strategy will not work for you. The biggest uh, uh, you know, the way it works is you have to have people coming through, right? So if you don't have people coming through, if you don't have a minimum 3K budget a monthly to actually have that, this strategy is not going to work for you that well. But the next strategy is, which we talk about this, it's called the email cold outreach method. If you are making anything less than 3,000 or you can't spend it to get a traffic, the next method you must try that they call the email cold outreach method. The email cold outreach method, you can start with $100 or $100 and sort of give you really good results for that, right? So if you're just getting started, here is what I suggest, right? So if you're getting started, meaning that you don't have 5 clients or 10 clients, this is what we work towards, right? So at the ABS, this is what we work towards. Our goal is, the first goal is to get 5 clients. When we get 5 clients, the next goal is to reach 10K. After, the next goal is to reach 7-figure, which is 1 million revenue. So if you don't have this, the first one, if you are here at this level, I will say the first level then you need to use a method called the cold outreach method. The cold outreach method works in email, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and also a couple of other platforms which we teach, meaning that job search websites or some sort of a tasker, like these sort of websites. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our first 5 clients. When you already got 5 clients, now you take into the next level, then you get to the Facebook ads, or you get to the Google paid ads, right? So meaning that SEO, then you get to that next level, right? So the first goal is to get first 5 clients. If you don't have first 5 clients, don't try to do paid ads, because that's the worst thing you could do. Meaning that there is a lot of trial and error in a Facebook ads. Meaning that even though you have a really good ad copy, even though you have really good graphics, even though you have really cool stuff, and a Facebook algorithm doesn't work in your favor, then it's just not going to work, right? So there's a lot of trial and error. If you can't spend thousands and thousands of dollars on testing your own stuff, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter how many other people have tested it. We test so many things, but still, I've realized it when other people run the ads, they get totally different results. Trying to copy ad sets and trying to copy ads, one ad set's going to work really well, the other one might not work that well for the same audience. You probably have realized by now, because Facebook algorithm probably sometime works in your favor, sometime it doesn't work in your favor, right? So don't do paid ads until it's done, right? So to get to the million, after that, once you reach 6 figure, the goal is to get to million. Then we pretty much into that 10x that thing, right? Whatever that we're doing, we multiply that, whether it's a cold outreach, whether it's a Facebook ads, we actually take it to the next level, right? So hope this was useful. If you got any questions, type in below. I'd love to answer that. And let's fill in the funnels from the front end, right? Meaning that get people front end coming towards your business as quickly as possible. If you're doing paid ads, use this method, bringing people step by step into that. If you don't have paid ads and you just want to get your first 5 clients, use any of these methods, the cold outreach method, because everything else you're going to do uh, is is paid. I think you must learn how to get clients without paid ads first before you get to the paid ads, right? Because um, look, paid ad worked really well, but you need to have something. Don't spend your uh, last dollars on paid, and don't gamble with that. Hope this was useful. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for your time. And if you got any questions on this, please type in below. Love to answer that. And thank you. Bye for now.